Hi there, Brian here, and welcome to today's video where I'll be looking into the Dirty Martini. So if you've seen one of my previous videos, I've already done the original Martini. Wasn't really a fan of the Martini, but then I'm not a fan of gin drinks. I did find that I preferred the vodka over the gin one because I did do both, even though the vodka one's not really a Martini, it's just a take on a Martini. But that being said, I did prefer the vodka one. Then I made a few variations of that, doing the 50-50 and the reverse, the naked. And out of all of them, I think I preferred the reverse, which is mostly vermouth with a little bit of gin. But that being said, not really a fan of any of them. So today we are looking into the Dirty Martini. So the Dirty Martini is quite a popular take on the Martini. I know from researching that it seems to be like probably the most popular version of the Martini, and just from my personal experience with people I know who do drink martinis, they all say they love a Dirty Martini. So with that being said, today we're going to have a quick look at the history of it because it's pretty simple. Then we're going to move on to making one, trying it and see what I think. So let's get into this. Okay, so it's widely accepted that this cocktail was created in New York in 1901 at the Waldorf Astoria by a bartender named John E. O'Connor, and he did this by just adding some olives to his martini and modelling them in and then straining them off, dirtying the cocktail. But this wasn't actually a Dirty Martini, didn't get the name straight away, that came a bit later. So did the olive brine. It kind of evolved over the next, say, 29 years when you actually got your first written account of this cocktail. And the first written account of the Dirty Martini comes in 1930 when a cocktail guy named George H. Steele included it in his book, My New Cocktail Book. So from there on, that's when you got the whole Dirty Martini with your olive brine in it. The whole recipe stems from that cocktail book there. So that is the history, very simple, a lot simpler than the actual Martini, but then this is just a take on that. But anyway, with that being said, we've done the history, let's get into making the cocktail. Okay, so let's make a Dirty Martini. So first thing we're going to need is glassware, and for that we've got a martini glass here. You could use a coupe, but a martini glass is preferred. And we've got some crushed ice in there, so that is chilling while we make the drink. So we're going to need a mixing glass for this because it's a mixed cocktail, a stirred cocktail. And then we're going to be wanting to add in the ingredients. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add one olive to the bottom of the glass, and I'm going to muddle that. Just a little thing that I got from my teacher when I did my course in London, something he does. So I did look online, and also the very original version of it called for a muddled lime. I'll just give that a muddled lime, a muddled olive I should say, a bit more muddled. Right, now we're going to add our ingredients, and for that we are going to be wanting to add, this is a dry, so we're going to be a 35-40, so 35 and 40. There we go. And now we're going to be wanting to add 15 of our dry vermouth. There we go. And finally 15 of our olive brine. So there's all the ingredients. Now we are going to add some ice. Probably a bit too much ice, but And there it is. We have it. Now we're just going to discard the ice. Bring that over to the centre. Now we're going to want to double strain our cocktail. As always, because it is a martini, we always double strain our martinis. There we go. And finally we want to garnish, and for that we're just going to take an olive on a cocktail stick, and there we go. And there we have it, a dirty martini. Okay, so there is the dirty martini. So it looks nice. Martinis look fine, but it's just I'm not a fan of gin, so not a huge fan of martinis, as you may have seen in my martini video. But the dirty, it's got that olive brine, so it's got a bit of a different flavour to it. So let's see what it's like. Well, it definitely does something to it. As I say, I'm not a fan of gin, so gin cocktails for me, not something I order. But that does definitely, I think I prefer a dirty martini over the regular, so yeah. As I said in my other video, I preferred a vodka martini over a gin martini. Although it's not the original, it's just I'm not a fan of gin, so I preferred the vodka version. But for this, I do prefer that over the pair of the originals. So the saltiness does do something to it. So yeah, for me, I think the Dirty Martini would probably be my preferred one out of all the martinis I've tried so far. Or the regular martinis. I do prefer flavoured ones like espresso martinis and pornstar martini. They're both really nice. But this one, not too bad. So that is it, yeah. Okay, so that was the Dirty Martini. So as I said, probably my preferred one out of the lot so far when it comes to the classic styles, unflavoured. But anyway, so that is the end of this video. So as always, thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Take care and goodbye.